Marketing committee aims to expand audiences. So can you talk a little bit about what our current audience base is and what areas you think we need to tap into a little more?
I love it when I go to one of the concerts and I see a variety of generations in the seats. And I think that is what we're all about. From seeing kids to students to regular attendees to new faces. That's very important to me. To be able to have people participate in music, which is such an important part of culture, so good for our soul, and for that going out to such a cross-section of Boston.
One of your areas of focus is leadership psychology, so can you talk about how that has a bearing in what you do with the Boston Philharmonic?
In leadership psychology, we're looking at models of 21st century leadership. How to do leadership in a way that's more constructive, that leads to outcomes that help individuals and groups and communities. And certainly leadership takes place at all levels, whether it's at the individual level, the group level, the government level, and leadership exists within BPO and the BPO board. And I see that the leadership is seizing upon the various perspectives that we're looking at in the community. We're broadening those stakeholders who we've considered in the past. We're looking at them in a broader way to bring their voices in, to bring in their perspectives, to help us understand how to create a vibrant, accessible orchestra for the 21st century. And that's where leadership psychology comes in.
Can you describe what role you've taken on within the board?
My involvement with the Boston Philharmonic has been to support them in bringing new and young audience members to the table. And while I was at Harvard, I did a lot of work in helping to get the word out that there's this wonderful gem of an opportunity and a wonderful maestro and orchestra that make this music accessible. And after we had quite a good amount of success bringing in Harvard students who for the first time may have been exposed to classical music, Benjamin Zander approached me and he said, hey, why don't you take this on to a board level?
And how do you think that an orchestra can really stay relevant now in an online world where instead of going to hear performances, you're listening to clips or you're reading about it? What do you think orchestras need to keep in mind as they're moving to an online presence?
As you know, we've created one program, which is a student ambassador program, having ambassadors at all the different universities, helping to pull through their peer group, audience members, and I think that's the best way to do it. We can spend lots and lots of money on marketing, but if you have someone in the community say, hey, come along with me, that makes a huge difference.
Yeah, when you get someone from within their own group who's enthusiastic about it, then others are likely to want to know what that's all about.
I know I'm like that.
Yeah.
If someone says, hey, read this great book, I'm more inclined to read it if someone I know and trust is giving me that advice.
Exactly. And finally, where do you see the BPO heading in the future, and how do you see the marketing committee helping to shape that future of the BPO?
All right, let me give that thought here for a second. The future of the BPO is about taking the best of what exists right now and letting things blossom and develop for the future. The world is changing. The 21st century is considered the age of complexity, and I certainly feel that, and I know a lot of other people do. And within that complexity, we have to figure out a framework for how BPO will fit in, and how it will grow, and how it will meet new audiences, and how new audiences will meet it. And to maintain its mission about accessibility, about uniqueness, about a variety of programming, that is going to be the heart and soul of it. But I really see moving out in terms of doing outreach, in terms of having potentially more of an international component, in terms of new audiences coming into the stream, and potentially schools benefiting, new musicians continuing to benefit from this model?